The rate of prescription drug abuse in the U.S. is alarmingly high, as are the number of accidental poisonings and overdoses.
Experts say the majority of abused prescription drugs are obtained from family and friends, including from the home medicine cabinet. Bill Bodner, special agent in charge of Los Angeles Drug Enforcement Agency. Thanks again, Bill, for joining us here on Eyewitness News. More people at home. That means there's a greater risk of people having access to prescription drugs. So you guys have started a campaign. Can you tell us about what you're doing as far as aiming at people, keeping the meds out of the wrong people's hands?
Sure. So, Phil, you hit the nail on the head. History tells us a majority of prescription drug abuse, and unfortunately, opiate addiction starts with prescription drugs that we have in the home. For the past 10 years, we've been doing twice annual events where we partner with the community and we try to take those unwanted prescription drugs in and destroy them properly. We couldn't hold our event this past April because of the health crisis. So there's about 11 tons of excess prescription drugs out in the LA community right now. That's how much we take in at a typical event just from the LA area. And with that additional amount of drugs in homes, and with children being home all the time, schools are closed, summer programs don't look like they're going to open on time. The threat right now is very high, and that's why we're going on this campaign. And my message to people is we are safer at home if we take the necessary steps, the proactive steps to actually make our homes safer. And proper destruction of prescription drugs is one of those steps.
So what are some ways that people can secure their meds, and what should they do if they suspect someone else has possibly been taking them?
You know, I think that, hey, in an ideal world, we would all have a safe or something like that we could keep our prescription drugs in. I don't have that. It's not practical. But maybe something like a strong box where you keep some important papers, maybe that is practical. Maybe you have a desk with a locking drawer or a cupboard or cabinet that has a lock on it. If you can keep these drugs under lock and key, that's going to be the ideal situation. If you suspect that somebody has taken the drugs, you have to have conversations and you have to educate. Let people know what the dangers are, why it's important not to get involved with these drugs. And, you know, especially at a time like this, when we're in a health crisis, do not take drugs that are not prescribed specifically for you by your doctor.
Okay, speaking of that, telemedicine. People aren't going to see the doctor. It's not as many one-on-one moments. Do you find that opens the door for prescription drug abuse? Not pointing any fingers at doctors or anything, but maybe a patient can doctor shop a little easier remotely. Is that a problem?
You know, it could be, but sometimes we have to make allowances, right? We've tried to put the necessary precautions in place. We've tried to educate doctors on what the dangers are when we move into a telemed, program. So there is the potential there for abuse, but I feel like we've taken the steps, and the community now is aware enough of the situation that it won't be that big a problem. We have educated a lot of doctors, and we've actually seen the prescriptions for opioids go down over the past couple of years. The problem now is moving into the illicit market a little more than the prescription market. So we have had some success with bringing down the number of prescriptions for opiate drugs and reducing the abuse of prescription opiate drugs.
Yeah. One other question for you. If someone has medications that are unused or expired, how do they get rid of them? What's the best way?
You know, great question. We are going to try to hold a take-back event as soon as we can, as soon as these restrictions are lifted and we feel that we can do it in a safe way with the community. Until then, I would suggest contacting your local pharmacy. I know CVS and Walgreens and Rite Aid, 3 major national chains, all have a program where they do take back prescription drugs. Call your local one, go online and do a search. If you're not comfortable going out right now and going to a pharmacy to do this, I get it, don't. But then take the steps you need to secure the drugs properly using some of the methods we talked about today.
Yeah, don't flush them down the toilet. Don't put them in the drain. We do not want that.
No, that's horrible. You know, we just saw a picture of the beach, you know, our lovely Southern California beaches. That pollutes our environment. It's very dangerous to do that, and we have to impress upon people, don't do that.
Yeah, okay. Good reminder.
Hey, Bill, thanks very much. Bill Bodner, Special Agent in charge of LA DEA. Thanks for joining us.
And with so many, thank you.